When it comes to eagle attacks, its projection is limited to simple snatch and grab, until surreal moments reveal a whole new dimension. From insane attacking stunts to ruthless hunting techniques, here are some of the most amazing eagle attacks ever to be caught on camera. Vulture taken down. As intimidating as vultures may seem to be, instances such as these prove them otherwise. This unknown species of white eagle was caught on camera as it decided to take down a vulture. As the lone vulture was seen nibbling on some leftovers in the middle of the woodland, the eagle found the perfect opportunity to turn it into its prey using the element of surprise, despite being much smaller than the vulture. It landed on the back of the vulture, grabbing the neck by its talons seconds before cutting it apart with the razor-sharp beak. Imagine the terror if birds of prey such as these started targeting humans. Eagle versus wolf. When hunger kicks, it is only the size and numbers that differ the hunter from the hunted. An eagle and a wolf were caught in a duel that lasted several minutes, until the lone wolf was overpowered by the sheer strength and numbers of its attackers. The aerial predator resorted to ending the battle by first blinding the wolf and gradually causing several injuries. The incident was filmed by hunters from Bayan Ugli, Mongolia, who used their eagles after several cases of wolf attacks on chickens and livestock was reported by farmers. Whether the wolf survived or not, however, remains a mystery. Leopard-eagle encounter. Unlike the bears, this leopard surely held a grudge. A dramatic incident was captured by a wildlife ranger showing an eagle who launched an unprovoked attack in hopes to grab a leopard for a feast, but only managing to scratch on the back of his head. The leopard, who was now consumed by vengeance, waited for the aerial predator to turn and re-engage, but the eagle was almost caught. The leopard at this point followed the perpetrator to a nearby tree, where it was resting, and made its way up to the tree, earning a quick meal and an overdue revenge. Goat dropped from sky. Either this eagle didn't like the way this goat looked, or that it's resorting to smarter ways of having lunch. A hiker was left confused while ascending up a mountain when he saw a giant eagle attempting to grab a goat much bigger than itself. The eagle then finally managed to catch one of the smaller goats from the top of the mountain, only to release it mid-air, having it fall to the ground to enjoy the ready meal. The incident left the hiker impressed, seeing an improved technique on hunting bigger animals with minimal effort, while concerned for his own safety. Watching a human in eagle talons is probably the last thing anyone would want to see. Eagles battle over prey. Eagles may find it easy to dominate and attack adversaries until they face each other. In August 2010, a couple, while out camping somewhere in North Dakota, captured this footage showing a vicious dogfight between a pair of eagles. Both had their talons locked onto the prey, while both engaged in mid-air death spin battling over the catch, lasting several minutes. With them more focused on winning the prize, they crashed into densely spread trees. At this point, one of the eagles abandoned the pursuit, while the other enjoyed a hard-earned meal. Eagle catch fish. Unlike the usual bombing run, this eagle adopted another technique for catching a fish. Beachgoers in Norway captured this clip showing a white-tailed sea eagle who jumped into the water deep enough to grab a prey within its talons while remaining shallow enough to be able to stay airborne by flapping its wings. After a minute of effort, the eagles pulled out a carp almost of its own size with little to no difficulty and began to feast. Despite the seagulls being in the area, none of them were brave enough to steal the catch from the eagle. Dive bomb fishing. For an aerial predator, that's a whole new level of dedication for fishing. A couple, while out kayaking on a river somewhere in North America, managed to capture this incredible moment on camera, showing an eagle who went above and beyond for its catch. Aside from the usual bombing run style or hovering, this eagle dove almost completely inside the water, and seconds later flew away with a catch. Just by seeing how massive the splash of the water is, we can know that this fierce eagle was moving at a top speed while it landed into the water for the catch. Normally, colliding or diving into the water without a minimized signature while in such a high-speed pursuit is lethal. Eagle outsmarts rattlesnake. The venom of the snakes may carry a punch strong enough to defeat the biggest predator, but it's no match to this witty eagle. A herpetologist, while studying the behavior of rattlesnakes, filmed an unexpected encounter with an eagle. Knowing the strengths and weaknesses of its prey, the eagle employs a clever strategy of making the snake attempt to strike at its wing feathers. At this point, with the snake's head exposed, it manages to overpower the rattlesnake easily and start munching it to its death. The toxic bite of the rattlesnake makes it a dangerous meal that only seasoned eagles can catch. Three-toed sloth nabbed. When it comes to hunting, experience comes a long way, even if the prey is one of the slowest in the jungle. A young harpy eagle, tasked by its parents, approaches a three-toed sloth on top of a tree, and despite it being an easy catch with little to no resistance, the inexperienced eagle is left clueless as the sloth descends to the densely covered branch after attempting to scare away the young predator. Minutes later, as the sloth descends to a light-covered part of the tree, one of the parent eagles that was waiting for an opportunity jumps in to catch the sloth, showing their young how it's done. Shallow water shark swooped. For a predator as huge as this bald eagle, it has to take the expression "go big or go home" a bit too literally. Two friends were only moments away from securing their catch of a small bonnet shark on Dunedin Beach when this bald eagle surprised them by swooping out from nowhere and grabbing their catch. Since the shark was one of a kind, they started filming the moment of reeling in, only to have this incident caught on camera. The two men, after briefly taking pictures, cut the line and let the eagle fly away with the prize. Baby crocodile hunted. While crocodiles may seem to be the unchallenged predator in the swamps, their young, however, stands no chance against an eagle. This video was recorded by a tourist while on tour, showing how several newborn crocodiles easily got lifted away by eagles. The recording starts with an eagle on top of a helpless baby crocodile moments before it was taken away. With the eagle having a taste of victory, they decided to go for another baby crocodile, but the parent crocodile was nearby. Despite leaping from out of the water, the parent crocodile failed to stop the eagle from fleeing with the second crocodile. Squirrel ambushed. Despite the near-death experience, this squirrel didn't seem to stop feeding from the grain buffet. A trail camera that was placed to study the animal activity in an undisclosed location captured footage of an eagle that ambushed a squirrel who had its guard down in the midst of feeding. Considering sharp talons and the speedy blow, the squirrel clearly had no chance of escape, although it put up quite the struggle. While the owner of the trail believed it to be the final moments of the squirrel, he was, however, left astonished upon finding the same squirrel later having injuries on its back. Kangaroo confronted by eagle. Of all the kangaroos, the eagle chose the one with prison time. A driver was passing through Sleaford, South Australia, when he noticed a wedge-tailed eagle who was attempting to attack a lone kangaroo several times. Footage from 2019 shows the desperation of the eagle to grab a kangaroo, not knowing how huge and buffed up it really was. As the eagle's intentions to attack halted, the driver managed to get a closer look at the kangaroo, revealing it to be quite unusually buffed up. Eagle drops snake. Something like this can't be ruled out as an accident, but rather an interesting case of coincidence. A family was out barbecuing by a river somewhere in the Philippines when an eagle randomly descended from the sky to grab a venomous snake by the bank of the river and seemed to be flying away until it tossed the snake at the family while recording. Considering the simple fact that eagles are ultimate predators of the sky, they surely can't make the mistake of dropping their catch accurately at the family unless it had hostile intentions. Bear attacked by eagle. This looks to be a case of personal vendetta, or just another terrible miscalculation of size on the eagle's part. Hikers, while out hiking near the Naknek River, Alaska, noticed a series of uncalled-for attacks by a bald eagle on a family of grizzly bears. The perpetrators swooped down in a bombing run maneuver towards the unsuspecting victim that was catching its breath and struck its claw over very close to the eyes before flying away. Several minutes later, the same eagle returned and hit the bear unprovoked. The only possible explanation for something like this would be that the eagle misjudged the size of the bears while being high in the sky. Eagle-octopus battle. Of all the eagle attacks, this one sure looks to be the most ambitious one. In December 2019, fishermen in British Columbia, northwest of Vancouver Island in Canada, came across an incredible standoff between an octopus and a bald eagle. The attack started as the eagle noticed the octopus in shallow water and decided to jump in for a catch before attempting to flee. Although the speed and sharp talons gave the eagle a head start, the octopus balanced the scales using its tentacles. With both seemingly locked in combat, fishermen separated them by using a pole, and judging from the eagle quickly flying away to a safer distance, it sure seemed to have realized the level of risk. Owl-eagle battle. Seeing how two birds of prey are battling to feed on each other, you can know both of them have run out of prey. A man was out walking his dog when he suddenly started hearing sounds of a struggle. As he got closer to the source to investigate, he noticed a barn owl that was being attacked by a small eagle and struck down from a palm tree. Seeing how the owl cried for help while looking at the recorder, it clearly was not strong enough to hold its own, while the eagle was suspiciously quiet. The footage later continues, showing the owl to have survived, while the fate of the eagle remains a mystery. Eagle versus coyote. When there's a dispute over a catch, the real victor would be the one who takes their competition as prey as well. In May 2020, a trail camera placed somewhere in the Swan Valley of Montana picked a vicious brawl between an eagle and a coyote. Due to a significant rise in wildlife activity, the fight was thought to be over a territory until one of the involved was seen holding the body of a recently deceased deer. During the struggle, the tide shifted, giving both the hold over the carcass until the other one would turn the tables. In the end, both held the carcass from opposite ends, giving the eagle most of the carcass as it had the advantage to fly away. Dogs defend eagle attack. The sheer desperation on the eagle's part is likely the cause of its attack being a failure. This 8-month-old footage was taken by an unknown source, showing two Alaskan dogs desperately attempting to fend off from an eagle attack. The source commented that the eagle came down in speed, hoping to grab one of the dogs and swiftly fly away, until the second dog foiled the attempt. The trio then resorted to a struggle as the eagle's razor-sharp talons caught up one of the dog's collars. Seconds later, both the dogs walked away unharmed, while the eagle remained, contemplating its own failure. Rooster defeated by eagle. If you know the level of dedication that the roosters have among their flock, you know that this rooster died a hero. A farmer, while attempting to rescue, witnessed the last moments of his rooster when a bald eagle attacked a chicken coop. Although the rooster stood no chance against the eagle, he managed to buy his chickens enough time to flee for cover. The eagle, however, didn't seem to flinch a muscle while feeding off the deceased rooster, despite the owner confronting it. Cuckoo bird overturned. Considering how the eagle is cheering for an audience before executing the cuckoo, it sure looks to be something rather personal. A worker from Kruger National Park recorded this clip in April 2017, showing a small eagle who had a cuckoo bird overpowered underneath it, moments before it started tearing the feathers apart to feed. As the footage went viral, many perceived it to be the eagle getting back at this cuckoo, having a personal vendetta. Normally, the hatchlings of cuckoos tend to push the other species' eggs out of the nest as a survival measure, and hence revealing this incident to a long-awaited revenge. Another goat dropped. As disturbing as it may seem, nature has its way of functioning. Another piece of footage surfaced on the internet showing a goat that was dropped from a mountain. Only this time, the eagle had to make much more effort, while the fall wasn't as straight down to the ground. The goat started to fall down the mountain and hitting on the rocks several times, just as if it were a rag doll. With this strategy becoming far too common, there is no telling as to how far this may escalate. Another miscalculated attack. By now, the only possible way for any small animal to survive an eagle attack is to have someone watching their back. Another eagle, upon seeing a dog, took it to be small enough for the grabbing, but miscalculated the presence and loyalty of a second canine that was nearby. As the attack took place, both confronted the perpetrator and focused on damaging its wings, enough for it to be incapable of flight. Once the getaway option no longer existed, defusing the situation became much easier for the dogs, who tore the eagle apart using their strong jaws. Golden eagle versus hare. Sky dominance and sharp eyes are what make eagles apex predators of the sky. Using their incredible speed, they can leap onto the ground and catch their prey with precision. In this case, the only advantage that these white mountain hares have over the golden eagles is using their white skin to blend in with their surroundings. As the snow starts to disappear, the eagles use hilltop to not only detect the prey, but also trick them to flee going downhill, ensuring little cover or avenues of escape, resulting in the capture of the hare within minutes. Attack on hen. Aside from fleeing uphill, the easier alternative is to run zigzag, which is what saved the life of this chicken. A chicken coop owner was relaxing on his farm when suddenly an eagle started encircling and attacking one of his chickens as it was grazing. The footage captured on June 24, 2019 by a phone shows how the eagle appears out of nowhere attempting to catch one of the chickens. The chicken, however, uses a clever strategy of evading in a zigzag fashion, which confuses the eagle, who, after several attempts, decides to abandon the chase. Tortoise totaled by eagle. This gets challenging, even for a pick-up and drop strategy. Unlike most animals, tortoises have a huge protective shell at its back, which protects them from the sharp talons and the beak of an eagle. While the shell may have bought them some time, the eagles use gravity and the weight of the shell to their advantage to break it open, or use the hard landing trauma to knock them out. For it to work, the eagles drop the tortoise several times from great heights, hoping for either case before they can have their encapsulated meal. This picture and video was captured on November 5th, 2020 by a wildlife ranger during an intense battle between a bald eagle and a mother cheetah. According to the ranger, it all started when a pair of bald eagles attempted to grab her cubs. Seeing how the mother cheetah was in hunting mode, one of the eagles used itself as bait to draw out the fastest predator on the ground, managing to dodge in time while giving the second eagle time and element of surprise to grab one of the cubs. Before the mother cheetah could turn around and foil the plan, both the eagles were able to escape with one of her cubs, which was later seen being eaten on top of a nearby tree. Hunting ridden down mountain. Call it a lack of experience or just ambition, this young eagle learned its lesson the hard way. A wildlife filmmaker, while filming chamois, came across a stunning spectacle of nature in the Italian Alps, where a young golden eagle attempted to hunt a chamois. Either due to ambition or inexperience, the young eagle grabbed the mother instead of the baby in hopes of tossing it off the mountain. Since the young predator was hopelessly determined, and with the prey being a bit too heavy for liftoff, both came falling down the mountain in a struggle for survival. The young eagle was repeatedly struck by rocks on the way down and was forced to abandon the pursuit. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.